Are you somebody that struggles with fear? Well, in this video, I want to share with you the impact of what that fear does to your body, and also what you can ultimately do to transmute that fear, showing you how maybe your symptoms might actually heal faster once you get to the root cause of that fear. So my name's Thomas Garbarino. I've been treating and working with clients for the last 20 years, helping them through mind-body medicine, classical Chinese medicine, helping you understand how your body and mind coexist, and in fact, determine whether you're in a state of sickness and suffering or you're in a state of vibrancy and health and happiness. And ultimately, I want everyone to live the fullest of their lives, healthy and happy. So one of the methods that I've drawn upon is the classical Chinese medicine model of the 5 elements, or wuxing. And those elements, if you're not familiar with, we have fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. And each element is associated with an emotion. Now, what's interesting is there are a negative pole of emotion that causes pathology, not just in that organ, but the whole system, the ecology of the body. But there's also the positive pole, or what is referred to as the virtue of that emotion. So the most common one that we're talking about today is fear, which is associated with the kidney energy. Now, when we say kidney energy, we're not just talking about the kidneys. We're talking about reproductive system. We're talking about your lower back, your knees, your legs, the health of your bones, the health of your hair and your brain function, and a whole lot more. From the 5-element model, fear is the pathological emotion that affects that part of the body. But the flip side is courage, or some might say faith, the ability to look into the unknown and feel a sense of peace and faith, really, trust that it will be okay. And for a lot of us, this is very, very challenging because why? Because the unknown brings up a lot of worry and fear. Now, recently I was working with a client, and if you're not familiar, I do a whole complete health assessment where I look at your face, I look primarily at your tongue, and I work with people all around the world. And one thing that was very present on this individual's tongue was this traumatic event that happened to them early on in life in their adolescence. And that showed this tremendous amount of fear that was injected into the system at that time. And since that time, you could say this traumatic event has caused this kind of pervasive fear in the system. And so why I wanted to talk about it is because to show you how intense this fear did for this individual. So this was a female, and because of that fear, first it started with issues in the digestive system. So this kind of constraint in the lower parts of the region puts a lot of stress onto the digestive system. And in time, as that stress accumulates, it comes up into the lungs and then up into the head region. So the senses, the ears, the eyes, the sense of smell start to get affected. And of course, the cognition. Now, this wasn't the case for this individual. What they did notice is there was a sense of malaise or melancholy that caused this depression where they were having a hard time feeling. And this is what I've seen a lot in clients that suffer from these kind of traumatic fears. It's like the fear is so overwhelming that it's hard for them to be in their heart and feel the qualitative amount that life gives us, whether it's excitement, right? Or happiness, gratitude, all these, positive emotions that we can experience in our life, they're subdued when that fear is pervasive all the time. So over time, life becomes like very dull or numb or muted in a way. And that was this person's experience. Along with that, it started to affect certain systems of their body. So they started to have reproductive issues, like they had more cysts showing up. They had fibroids. So she was also experiencing fibroids. And this was very painful for her. And it also caused other problems like lower back pain. It caused actually lumps in the lymphatic system and into parts of the breast tissue. Because in Chinese medicine, the fear, like I said, affects the kidneys, which is connected to the reproductive system. But in the female body, that also translates to the breast, because they are intimately connected. And I'm sure many of you have heard of situations where somebody in your family or friends, they had cancer in their breast, and then they had a mastectomy, they removed the tissue, and next thing you know, that cancer is showing up in their uterus. That is intimately connected in the energetic matrix of your body through Chinese medicine. So this fear that is pervasive, as it keeps going in this individual's body, it will most likely show up in this toxicity in the breast tissue more and more, and cause other problems like breast cancer or ovarian cancer, or maybe even bone cancer. Now, I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen, but you can kind of see through the evaluation of the tongue that this is the trajectory of the pathology in the system. So what my advice to this individual, as I would say to any of you that suffer with fear, is come to the root cause of it. How do we change that fear into faith, into courage? And I've done other videos about this, like how you can really connect with the fear. You can befriend the fear. And I'll make sure I put that video here at the end so you can follow up and see how I recommend it there. But my suggestion is how we transmute this fear is, again, just like that video, is meeting it, being with it, getting very clear the impact that fear is having in your body. And what you'll find as you tune into it with your attention, you're going to find places in the body, maybe the throat, maybe the groin, maybe the lower back, maybe your thighs, or even your ankles. There will be a certain somatic holding your body's doing. It's very common. Some people, it's in their lower back or butt. You will find that there is some relationship that shows up somatically in the body. And my suggestion is to be with it, to make space for it, and to take deep, healthy breaths from the diaphragm down to the base of your torso into the pelvic floor. Let that area breathe and open up, because that is where the fear is really living in the body, in this deep center. You can also feel it back into the back of the head where it grips. That was a big one for me, where it used to just grip the back of my occiput. Let that just soften with the breathing pattern. Make sure the exhalation is a little bit longer than the inhalation. Don't be afraid to make sounds as you're going through it, like this will help dissipate some of the charge that fear is having. And then most importantly, you need to understand that fear only exists from a place of absence. One of my teachers used to say, fear is false emotion appearing real. So in truth, it is not real. Even though you are experiencing it, It's coming from a place of absence. And so what that means is, as we be with the sensations and the felt sense experience of this fear arising, what I want you also to know is that it is a sign saying that you need to tonify, you need to strengthen the understanding that you are greater than your separate self. You are greater than this body. And tuning into the divine nature that you are, your unified feeling of connection to Source, to God, to the Holy Spirit that is always here for you, that is actually quiet, that allows you to go ahead and experience that fear. Because what's happening is your heart and consciousness is just stuck in this state of contraction and the fear. So first, your job is to be aware of it, to be with it, to breathe with it, in it. So it helps you begin the process of creating more space. This space lives inside you and all around you. It is the field that you are. But here's the transmutation. As you're with it, you also simultaneously are tuning into the love that is here, the love that you are. Feel into the love that is always present. And if that's hard for you, then my suggestion as a daily practice is to start to cultivate, where can I feel and focus on the love in my life? Is it that moment you've had with your child? Is it that moment you've experienced with your dog or cat? Or that aspiring moment when you're in nature? The beauty that you see around you, this is all helping you focus back to the love. And what I want you to do is follow that thread till you start to feel it in the center of your chest, in your heart center. And remember that that is truth. That is the true knowing of what you really are, which is this unified connection to love, unconditional love. This, more than anything, is going to help you transmute that fear. The more you make time for this, the more you'll be able to dissipate the fear that arises in your system. And this is how you will not only get rid of the fear, but you will also start to heal your symptoms that are intimately tied to it. As you experience that more and more, you keep returning back to the love. You keep being in a state of gratitude for the love, and it starts to build a whole new neural network and positive feedback loop in your system. Now, I teach this in various different ways through my Be Love Heal program, where we do some tapping. I get directly into your story and we start to identify where the places you're getting stuck, what are the unconscious beliefs that you're frozen in fear about. And I help through the process, yes, of tapping, of helping you somatically get in there, to reframe your consciousness, to see it through the eyes of your heart rather than your head. And as you do that, we facilitate massive healing and growth for you. So make sure you check that out below in the description. But I hope this landed for you today. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. Make sure you like and share this, especially with those of you that know are suffering tremendously right now. This can be an incredible medicine for those of you that feel left alone, isolated, that need this hope, that need this message to help you bring you out of those lower states of contraction, opening your heart up to ascend to a higher state of being and ultimately heal. Thank you again for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and always like and put a comment down below. I look at all the comments, and make sure you check out my free community, You Are the Medicine, down below. Have a blessed day, everyone. I love you all. Peace.